Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. What if one photo was never just a photo? What if a black shirt, a quiet glance, and a split-second moment could reveal a secret more powerful than words? Today, we're not just spotting fashion, we're decoding feelings. Because Liu Yuning and Zuer just dropped a subtle bombshell, and fans everywhere are losing their minds. Their matching outfits? Just the beginning. This could be the softest, most beautiful love story hidden in plain sight. It all began with something so subtle, most people would have missed it. A photograph. Just one image of Liu Yuning standing in a relaxed pose, wearing a simple black t-shirt. It wasn't loud, it wasn't branded in a way that screamed for attention. In fact, it was the kind of quiet fashion statement that whispers elegance rather than demands it. But for those who followed Liu Yuning closely, especially in the context of his recent interactions with Zuer, that shirt meant more. Much more. Hours later, as if by design or chance, or something in between, Zuer posted a selfie. She wasn't on a red carpet. She wasn't promoting a new brand. She was simply being herself. But the detail that stopped fans in their tracks was her outfit. A black t-shirt that bore an uncanny resemblance to Liu Yuning's. The cut, the texture, even the mood of the photo. Everything seemed aligned in an unspoken harmony. To the casual viewer, it might have looked like just another post. But to fans, it was a mirror. A reflection. A quiet echo. As the images began to circulate online, the discussion exploded. Sharp-eyed fans did more than admire, they investigated. They traced the origin of the shirts, compared lighting and fabric, even identified the exact collection both pieces came from. What they found turned a fashion coincidence into something potentially far more meaningful. Both shirts were part of a limited edition release designed for couples. Not for general consumers. Not for mass appeal. For pairs, for people choosing to reflect each other, visually and intimately. The implications were immediate. Was this just another fashion overlap in a celebrity world full of stylists and sponsorships? Or was this a carefully chosen, quiet message? A soft reveal that spoke not to headlines but to hearts? The contrast was stark. Two people, from two separate spaces, posting similar outfits within hours of each other. And yet, there was a sense that these two photos were not random, not separate, but parts of a larger invisible conversation. What made this moment so captivating was not just the possibility of romance, but the way it was hinted at. Without flashy announcements, without dramatic public gestures, this matching outfit became something poetic. It was as though Liu Yuning and Zuer were communicating in a language only those paying attention could understand. And in that silence, in that restraint, the emotion felt even more powerful. Because sometimes love doesn't arrive with fanfare. Sometimes it's quiet, worn close to the skin, captured in a photo, posted without a caption, and left for the world to interpret. And sometimes, just sometimes, that's what makes it feel the most real. What draws people to Liu Yuning and Zuer's story isn't just the possibility of romance. It's the way they seem to speak through silence, through images, through the understated language of style. For fans watching closely, the matching black shirts were not the first sign, but rather the most obvious in a series of quiet echoes between them. This was not about fashion alone. It was about timing, about mood, about an invisible thread that has slowly, steadily connected their appearances, their presence, and perhaps something even more delicate, their emotions. When you look back at their past moments, a pattern begins to form. In early spring, they both appeared days apart, wearing navy hoodies from a relatively unknown streetwear brand. Then in June, they posted photos wearing white caps, again of the same make, with no mutual project or event to justify the overlap. These weren't promotional items. There was no branded campaign, no announcement, just soft, consistent alignment. And it wasn't just the clothes. It was the way they wore them, the way their energy, their expressions, even their postures seemed to be in quiet conversation with one another. Psychologists who study the emotional aspects of style call this mirrored presence. the unconscious or semi-conscious habit of couples to align not just what they wear, but how they appear to the world. This kind of connection is subtle. It doesn't scream. It doesn't pose. It harmonizes, syncs. For some, it happens without effort. For others, it's an intentional language, a shared space built in visual rhythms rather than spoken words. In the case of Lu Yuning and Song Zuer, the rhythm feels consistent and almost tender in its restraint. What makes their visual language so captivating is its refusal to be obvious. It isn't the coordinated red carpet appearances or curated Instagram couples aesthetics we're used to seeing. It's the quiet parallelism. Two individuals living their lives, posting their moments, yet leaving behind a pattern that only becomes visible when you look closely, when you care enough to notice. It is as if they are building a bridge out of subtle signs, rather than public declarations. And perhaps that's the most romantic part of all. In a world where relationships are often shared for likes, where love stories are broadcast and monetized, theirs feels private, not because they're hiding, but because they're protecting something fragile. The choice to reflect each other through clothing, to align moods and tones without overt messaging, reveals a level of intimacy that is deeper than hashtags or captions. Their connection, if real, isn't loud. It's layered. It's dressed in neutral tones, quiet gestures, and shared visual spaces. And whether it's intentional or intuitive, it tells a story. One that unfolds through textures and timing, rather than words. A story that says, we see each other, even when the world isn't watching. Some of the most powerful moments between two people don't happen in the spotlight. They unfold quietly, in the spaces between performances, behind cameras, when no one is asking them to smile. For Lu Yuning and Song Zuer, those behind-the-scenes fragments, subtle, unscripted, unguarded, have spoken to fans in a way no headline ever could. These aren't viral moments by design. They're glimpses of something softer, something that perhaps wasn't meant to be seen, and that's what makes them feel real. In one rehearsal video, Lu Yuning is seen adjusting Song Zuer's microphone. It's a simple gesture, practical, quick, but the way his hand lingers gently, the care in his eyes, tells another story. He doesn't rush. He doesn't treat her like a colleague he's obligated to help. There's presence in his touch, attention in the way he focuses entirely on her, even when others are speaking around them. It's the kind of moment that in another context might pass unnoticed, but within the delicate speculation surrounding them, it stands out, because it feels so quietly intimate. There is also the moment during a group rehearsal when Song Zuer reaches for Lu Yuning's hand. Not in a dramatic way. Not in an obvious romantic display. It's casual, reflexive even, as if her body was responding before her mind could catch up. That kind of touch doesn't emerge from rehearsed chemistry or forced closeness. It comes from familiarity, from emotional comfort, from having spent enough time with someone that reaching for them becomes second nature. What these moments share is not physicality, but emotional rhythm. They echo the language of two people deeply attuned to one another. There's no need for stage declarations, no overly rehearsed scenes. Instead, it's about energy, the way one leans slightly into the other's space, the glances that carry weight, even when unreturned, the unspoken understanding of each other's pace, tone, timing. Fans don't need a confession to feel the pulse of something deeper, because these interactions reveal it on their own. In the entertainment industry, especially in environments where privacy is scarce and pressure is constant, intimacy is often hidden in the smallest of gestures. It's not surprising that fans have latched onto these details, because they feel authentic in a space where so much is curated. There's something profoundly human in watching two people who seem to find comfort in one another, not through grand acts, but through the way they move together, like two parts of the same rhythm. Perhaps the most telling thing is how unforced it all seems. Not once do they appear to be performing for the people around them. These glimpses, a mic being adjusted, a hand briefly held, don't feel like they were meant for an audience. And that is exactly why the audience can't look away. In a world where so much is made to be watched, these quiet acts of connection feel like a truth we weren't meant to see, but once we do, we feel it. As it feels real. On Weibo, Instagram, and TikTok, the fan community responded like lightning. Side-by-side comparisons, digital fan art, heart-filled comment sections, hashtags trending for hours. One fan wrote, "They don't post as a couple, they express as one." Another said, "This isn't PR. This is poetry." For many, it's not about shipping. It's about witnessing something real, rare, and beautifully unspoken. Social media analysts call this the soft launch without words. No announcements. No public labels. Just coordinated presence. And that's smart. Why? Because in the entertainment world, especially in Asia, public relationships can face scrutiny, pressure, even backlash. But if they're building something real away from the spotlight, then maybe this matching outfit isn't a fashion choice. Maybe it's a love language. A way to say we're in this together, without having to explain a thing. What Liu Yuning and Song Zuer are teaching us, intentionally or not, is something deeply human. Connection doesn't always need to shout. Sometimes it just wears a black shirt and smiles quietly across the room. Maybe they're dating. Maybe they're soul friends. But either way, they remind us that in a noisy world, the most meaningful bonds are often silent. Sparkles, if you felt something watching this, you're not alone. At Update X24H, we bring you not just updates, but stories that connect us all through emotion, art, and a touch of mystery. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe for more heartfelt stories, hidden clues, and untold connections from the world of entertainment and beyond. Party popper, hit like, drop your thoughts in the comments and tell us, do you believe in love without words? Is this romance real? Or just our hopeful hearts reading between the lines? Thanks for watching Update X24H, where every detail matters. See you in the next story. Sparkling heart. White heavy check mark. Let me know if you'd like this converted into a short/TikTok script, or repurposed into a video description, community post, or subtitle text. Would you like a voiceover style version next?